just going to shut the door. And we're away.
Hey.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Staying Connected. And we're on episode 56, if you can believe that. So, I can't remember the one that you were on, to be honest, mate, but it must have been a while.
29, I think, or 28.
So it's been...
We'll get our sponsors too. We'll get our sponsors eventually.
Yeah, maybe one day. It's going to be a VPN, because me and Daniel always talk about VPNs on a Wednesday.
Yeah, ExpressVPN, Node
or Express. Come and get us. You know where we are. We need that. We'll get the revenue up and running.
like honey, all of them.
All the money, honey.
I saved on like online transactions.
Yeah, I've got honey, the browser extension.
I think I have as well.
Add promo codes in and stuff. Yeah, I've got it. There's a few. What else? Raid Shadow Legends. That's always a sponsor.
Raid Shadow Legends, Manscaped,
Manscaped,
Raycon.
Yeah, if nobody knows what Manscaped is, go and look it up.
Have a look at their promotional material, because they're upfront about it.
It's clever marketing. That's all I'll say. I've seen it advertised on about 7 or 8 different YouTube.
This is more of your mum's house one. This is like Satma. You got the mattress place.
Yeah, there's a few good ones on Joe Rogan where it's like it's all about UFOs and aliens and that.
Wait, a sponsor?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is now, but it always comes up on the start of Rogan's videos, and it's on about like we're thinking about things in the wrong way, and then it cuts to like a big shot of space, and it's like a flying saucer and that. It's mental. I can't remember what it's for. I think it might be like a documentary or something.
All right, I'm not surprised he's doing a documentary.
He loves a bit of aliens and that, man. A bit of DMT. He loves mentioning a bit of DMT. Good old Joe Rogan.
We could also I could also start with my new job as well.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Well, something that's actually relevant.
I was going to say, because I could get Media Savvy sponsored by Game Cabin. So
yeah, there you go. There's one sponsorship.
So obviously the reason why I wanted to do this again, the big news is I finally got a job. Yeah. Finally got someone wanted to employ us.
So congratulations, first of all.
Yeah, thank you. The job is at, well, if everyone's watching, the stack in Seaburn. It's called Game Cabin, and obviously we're planning to do like pay for play. So you go in, there'll be console, Xboxes, PlayStations, PCs, stuff like that, and maybe board games down the line. I'm not doing D&D.
No dungeon mastering for you.
Not for me, but hopefully someone else. But you just go in. Let's say, like for example, you pay £8, you get 2 hours. Obviously, that's an example. I've not set the prices.
Yeah.
But you go in, you play for a couple hours, and then it's just there for a chill vibe. Obviously, they'll kind of drop off your kids if you didn't want to stay over when you're at Seaburn.
See you later.
You're like,
go on.
But apparently, I'm excited for the stack. I start 28th.
Okay.
I think probably because obviously that's when the stack's opening. I thought we were going to get September, but it seems like they've done 28th. There's going to be a VIP thing though for the stack on the 27th, so seeing what that happens. But I hopefully this week I'll get me rota, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, great. So obviously, you've mentioned what it is. Game Cabin. You guys got like a Facebook page and all that stuff going on yet, or is it not been set up yet?
We've got a Facebook page. It's kind of obviously in the early stages. I think they did the first proper post of like, saying that because they got VR. Now, right. I should have said to Mark, I was thinking, because in Harry's Game Shack in town, they've got like PlayStation. I'm thinking, I should have asked Harry, I should have asked Mark, I'm like, do we have an Oculus? Because do you have your own separate computer for that?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, setting up VR, like Rift or something, is really like, just a
intensive.
Quite a it's intensive. I mean, that would be great because if we can get that, I can get Half-Life Alex. I'm like, you're supposed to be at work, Christian. Hold on, I'll never get a chance to play this.
Right. I'm sure how it's done.
So many customers out. No. But apparently, like, we might have might going to be busy on the opening day, so we'll have to see.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, what do you know what the opening hours are going to be like?
Not yet, no, because like I say, I'll wait until I get my rota.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I was joking because I kept saying like I don't think me if it's going to be like early morning, I guarantee it's not going to be like 6 in the morning because I don't think there's going to be a kid. I mean, even set up, but I don't think there's going to be a kid going 6 in the morning. Go, come on, I want to get in to play on the PCs and the Xbox. I'm like, hold your horses. So I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it was about 9 or 10 opening maybe. But we'll have to see. I haven't got me rota yet, so we haven't got the official time, so we'll see.
I think you get a lot of quite a varied audience, and I'd imagine I imagine once people have been out and had a bit of a drink and that, and you've got consoles and stuff in there, they'll be like, I can beat you on that. Of course I can. All right, well, let's go. Do you know what I mean? I can almost see it happening in my group of mates. Like if you had like something like I don't know. Like Tekken on, for example. I haven't played, bear in mind I haven't played Tekken since I had a PlayStation 1, but I'd still if someone was like I'll be no you won't, I'll beat you on Tekken like once I've had a couple of points, that's it.
Like I say, I'll have to say I'm glad that we're on we're going to be starting stuff this month because I thought it was going to be in September.
Yeah,
I'm so happy because if I can obviously get Mark to be getting PlayStation Plus for PlayStations, I can get the 2 free games this month are the campaign for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
Okay.
That's a good bonus, whatever, it's good.
Decent.
But Fall Guys, that other game.
I've seen it, yeah, it's been like
And I was thinking to myself, that would be perfect for game cabin.
Yeah, it's all over Twitch at the minute, isn't it? Fall Guys.
It'd just be amazing to put on because literally if people don't know what it is,
I'll show them I'll play the little trailer while you explain.
I can give them a bit of a description. Think of like Takeshi's Castle or Wipeout. It's kind of like that, but you're like these like I would describe jelly beans.
Just like a little ball. The audio's come on real loud.
Oh god, I'm blasphemous. But it's just sometimes it's so fun. You just get into it, and then those moments where you go, "I had the crown. I won this so badly." I've had moments where I've won one time, but there's been times where I've gotten to the end, and I just choke so badly.
Yeah, I think that's just how it goes in that game because it's basically like anyone can win at any point.
Yeah, but at least it's like I was laughing because there's a viral video going. It's just like this is why people don't play online games. There's so many tryhards, and I'm like, come on, it's fun. Like at least I understand maybe Fortnite where you see someone. You shoot one person and they build like the Eiffel Tower or like the build Buckingham Palace and you just go, I'm not in the mood for this. I'm just gonna.
I think this is a lot more of a casual game, right? Like it's not something you're gonna play as like an e-sport, if that makes sense. Like there's not gonna be any multi-million-pound competitions. Like that kid who won the Fortnite World Championship, didn't he win like $30 million in prize money or something?
No, you won like. Didn't you win like 6 mil? And then in duos it was 3 mil.
Yeah, well, still something like that. I mean, if you're winning that for a game like Fortnite, which is just essentially it was a game made for kids, right? Like, I don't think this is going to get to that level. I think this is much more like a party game.
But the thing is, though, regardless, it is a competition, and there's going to be people who are like, "I'm going to win this."
I'm winning this, and then with the agony when you don't, like you say, when you get to that last little like hurdle and someone knocks you off.
But I feel like I've had moments of like frustration, but it's not as bad as like. A BR where because I think the problem with BRs is you're waiting in a game for so long and you're like literally you might be camping, it takes a long time. Fall Guys, you can lose in like one of the rounds and go, all right, the next game, and you just get into it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying to Daniel. I said it's one of them games where I think you can just pick it up and play it without having any experience or like it's a fun game that like anyone can play. So I think what's that? Sorry.
Oh, go on. No, you go on.
So, just like you could get someone coming in for like I don't know half an hour into the shop, and if they want to they don't want to have like a full on like Tekken tournament or something, they can just crack on, play that in the corner and have a whatever. I assume you'll be doing some kind of refreshments, hopefully.
But I was happy about honestly. I was happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, good, we can get that before it goes off.
Be good stuff.
Because my plan is obviously for the PlayStations, I want to get PlayStation Plus, and then obviously for the Xbox, I want to get. We need online because I don't think we can just have all local. It just wouldn't do well.
Possibly.
I mean, like I said, we're gonna have local stuff, but not all the time. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but you know Tim the Tap Man, the Twitch streamer.
Yes.
Fall Guys, the Twitter account has just constantly been trolling him, being constantly like roasting him. Like, you haven't got to win. And one of them was like, "Well, Tim, don't worry. There is an account lower than you, but we've just found out that it's a development account. You're testing AFKs.
Yeah.
It's like." Really? Just
Poor guy,
complete.
man.
Everyone's like, keep roasting them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just keep getting them, man. So
but yeah. Sorry though, the Facebook is just called, I think, the Game Cabin, and then I
I'll have a
think
look.
for now
I'll have a quick
it's
look.
temporarily because I'm going to switch. I swear to God, when I talk them out, I'm going to get it. If we get a proper design, I'm going to get that switch. But the profile picture is just like Xbox gamepad, and I'm like, let's get that changed.
It's early days, though, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, probably focus on that like maybe a couple of days before you open, I guess. So is it the game? Is it Game Cabin the Shack? Is that the at Game Cabin the Stack? Sorry, can't read.
Yeah, what's at the Stack? You could or just type in Game Cabin on Facebook. That's what I've typed in.
I think I've got it. I'll just put a link in the chat. That's all. For the guys to check out. So
hopefully it's the right one.
No, it is. I think. Yeah, Game Cabin, and that's So the red control as the profile picture.
Yeah, that's the one. Hopefully you get that. I mean, I like the Facebook cover. I was thinking.
Yeah, I was wondering why that wasn't the profile picture.
So I'm aware of that. I'm like,
Yeah.
But honestly, though, I've been excited to start because I just want to, like, I was talking to you about, like, I would love to get soundtracks into the Stack other than just like normal radio stuff or just whatever music.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like I said, hope for growth. Hopefully, you can get arcade machines and stuff like that. I'm not going to go crazy the first few days, but I just wanted to keep it out in mind.
Yeah, this. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Get everything.
Just have it all. Yeah, it'll be fine. No, it's really cool. So, when you mentioned arcade machines, do you have any plans to get like some more the retro stuff in there, like maybe the Nintendo?
I think that's what Mark was also saying as well. I think that's what he was saying as well. We should be getting we should try and get some classic consoles and stuff like that, like the SNES and Mega Drive probably or whatever.
Yeah.
I would love to get a Dreamcast.
Yeah, anything. I mean, even things like as recently as like a GameCube might be quite cool to have in. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, Dreamcast, I'm pretty sure I go for quite a bit of money now. I'm fairly sure it's still like 150 quid on eBay.
But though I think if we did get a GameCube, we would have to get Melee because I'm one of those people where I'm one of those people who's against like the Super Smash Melee thing of like it's still got growth. It's like, come on, guys, everyone play. It's either like there's only like a couple of meta characters. Other than that, it's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, all you see is Fox, Ice Climbers, I don't know, like so like it's just, Jigglypuff. I hate it. I just don't. It's so boring.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool though. I mean, like I think I've still got my Nintendo 64 with the original Mario Kart on it. Like, and every now and then I'll boot it up when people are over. Be like, do you want a game of original Mario Kart? Because like there's just a certain like nostalgia. Because the new ones are good, but like I'm not gonna go out my way and buy like a Switch or a like a Wii U or whatever. I'm just it's weird with nostalgia. Like, didn't they bring out like the what was it? It was the SNES Classic. Where it's like, is it the tiny version of it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like preloaded with like 20 games. I was like,
with the PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation Classic as well. Or
when you buy it and you go, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, for like 10 minutes, and then you're like, yeah, okay.
And they're not even like, and then most of the games are not even like the best ones. It's more just like, all right, well, we've got Final Fantasy 14, and you got like, Final Fantasy 7, and you got like Metal Gear and all that. But other than that, it's like, okay, cool.
Like, I'm not going to play any of these games because I didn't want them on the original. Like, I just want to play like Mario Kart and like maybe Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear Solid, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
and then if you try to do an emulator, Nintendo was like, nah, we're not going to have that.
I kind of blame them really because you are just stealing the game. Like, you are literally just
like, I was annoyed because
it.
Obviously with my old laptop, I'll lose all the emulations because obviously it broke and whoever has to fix it needs to wipe it and then reset it again.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've jotted. Because I had time splitters on there, and I love time splitters.
That's some,
and I replayed
some retro stuff right there. Like
I replayed through Future Perfect, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite like time splitters.
I've always found with emulators they're a little bit. I haven't used them in ages, but I remember I had one on my computer ages and ages ago, and I always found saving your progress was a bit buggy. I remember playing for like 6 hours and I can't even remember what it was. but I played a game for like 6 hours. It might have been like Pokemon or something, and I'd played it for ages and ages and ages, and then I'd switched the emulator off and it hadn't saved, and I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, and safe to say, I never went back to it. I was just like, nah, kind of.
Well, the good thing about the emulator is that I managed to play the original Resident Evil 2 because obviously. At the time Resident Evil Remake was coming out, I was like, I've never at least played it, and now I can actually appreciate it more.
Yeah, cool.
I used to hate tank controls.
So, I mean, how big's the space going to be in the stack?
I'm not sure, but by the sounds of it, it has to be big, right? Like, I mean, I know I'm asking you, and you're like, well, I don't work there yet, but I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been to the stack and seen it, so...
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't actually seen the plans for the overall thing, like the actual
I need to, like, I need to actually see what's our unit, and I'm like, okay, then I can give you a good estimate. It'll probably be big, because, I mean...
It looks... I've driven past the actual overall site, and it looks pretty big. I don't know if they've got like plans. I'm just having a quick look on the website to see if they've got plans, because there's all sorts going to be there as well, right? Like,
well, obviously their other business they own is Boston Scruffs, so that's going to be there if you need any dog grooming or.
I was literally just looking at style, play, groom, game, relax, coffee, cake, beauty, mates, dog friendly, lively music, experiential place. Sorry, for everyone. What? Is that even a word? I'm sure they've made that up. Experiential place for everyone to enjoy a friendly, welcoming space. That's a lot. So it's not
like, but I don't think it's like the one in Newcastle, because the one in Newcastle is more.
Well, it's like food and drink, really, isn't it? Really, and then there's like, I think there's a few like little sort of artisan shops on the outside. You know, before you go in, there's like three little units. I think one of them's a cafe, like a take.
Is one like a big one?
I don't know. I think there's like a there was like a vegan only place as well. I think there possibly. Also, there you go. When I've gone onto the like learn more, there's Game Cabin there on their website as well as Wolves and Scruffs. I wonder if I click on this if it's got any more info. Oh no, it's just telling us what it is.
No, okay, cool. I actually want to know because he emailed is like, oh, like the stack needed like a description. I'm hoping some of it's a bit mine.
Right, it's not on there yet. That's all. But I'm sure in time. Like I say, it's not open yet. There's like a week. There's like 11 days to go yet. So plenty of time for that.
So, like I say, I'm going to be busy this week because I think on the 20th I have to get some certain things set up, like bus pass and all that.
Yeah.
And then I think on the 24th that week I'll probably be helping them set up, and then on the 28th it's opening for the stack in general.
No. Well, they've timed it well because I'm pretty sure there's a bank holiday at the end of this month as well.
That's what. It is. It's on a bank holiday weekend, I think.
So that's the Friday, the 28th, and then 31st is the bank holiday. So I couldn't have timed it any better, really. Like, I think they're doing a bunch of street food and stuff as well, right? Based on this.
Yeah, I think is that Greek
Acropolis.
Yeah, is it from Newcastle or am I?
I think, do they not do like a travelling thing? Do they not normally have like a food truck or something? I'm sure they do.
I can't remember. Something like that though.
Yeah, so there's going to be a burger place and a taco place, an Italian's, fish and chips, healthy.
Yeah, like Downsies is there.
Yeah, there's a Longhorns as well.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know Longhorns was still going, to be honest, because there was one in South Shields and it shut down. So
and there's not one in Newcastle, isn't there?
There's two in Newcastle. There's one in the city centre and there's one towards I can't remember what it's called now. Outside of the city centre.
Yeah. Well, my brother Andrew keeps telling us about it. I'm like, I've always wanted to go there, but I don't think I've tried it yet.
No, it's alright, Longhorns, but obviously if you like meat, if you're a meat eater, then that is. I think someone's at the door, which is just completely knocked me. Longhorns Steakhouse. I'm sure there's two in Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that'd be cool. That'd be really good.
But like I think I was saying to Daniel, I can't remember to say to you. It's like it's weird that I've noticed there's some more gaming places are kind of opening up.
Yeah, like I mean, it's a cultural thing now, though, right? Like,
yeah, like I think in town I told you about that bar EFK,
right?
Where it's literally just like it plays esports. It's an esports pub.
Oh, really? Like, as in on the telly?
Yeah. You go in, And I remember obviously because I've had no money, so I haven't been there for 2 weeks. And me mate's taking us out tomorrow, which is paying for us. Like, thank God, paying for us. I'm paying it back on Thursday, which is paying for us for the thing, and we're just going there.
Yeah.
But like, when I had a bit of money, I was just going there like Saturday and just watching the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I know it. Like I say, I think there's been a bit more of like a cultural shift towards gaming now. Whereas before, I think it was a bit like if you were classed as a gamer, you were like a sweaty nerd, and I think now it's more of like a mainstream thing. I don't know.
I was laughing at myself because I love the idea of like an old bloke coming in,
and
just like
Tetris
CS or like just say CS or League on the TV, and they were like,
"What is this?
What is this?
What am I looking at?" Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know about yourself, but the esports stuff's always kind of baffled us a little bit. In terms of especially like FIFA, like I remember Sky Sports.
Oh, yeah,
Sky Sports did like a coverage of the World Cup, like the FIFA World Cup, and it was just like some 14-year-olds playing a game of FIFA on the telly, but like the commentators were like screaming at the top of their voices, and I was just like, this is crazy.
Bro, I get that because it's like, why don't you just watch real football?
Yeah.
Like, but like I understand like CS and like League or Rainbow and stuff like that because it's nothing that you see every day. You don't see like there's more to it. There's like more tactical thinking. I mean, especially with Rainbow, Rainbow Six Siege. That's more like tactical thinking of like, how do I play this situation? I've got two of my teammates are dead, and they've got a full team. How do we play this? How do we turn this around?
Yeah.
It keeps getting, and it's weird. Rainbow Six was in a really bad state when it first launched. It was really bad, and they had a literal entire season of just bug fixing. It was called Operation Hell.
Yeah.
But if they didn't do that, that wouldn't have fixed the game. Sorry, that wouldn't have they saved the game because of that operation. And now it's one of the biggest like FPSs like out there now.
For sure. So guys, if obviously I'll just quickly catch up with the chat a little bit. I think that must have been when we were talking about the sponsors. Charlotte was saying another one is Skillshare. Yeah, we see a lot of Skillshare on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Amelia's just saying good luck with your new job as well.
Cheers, thank you.
And Webb's just wishing you all the best and saying get in touch with Welshie. He's a game master, so I'll have to find out what he means by that because I don't really know. But I think he's off out now anyway. So cheers for that, Webb. We're up to date on that one. So yeah, if anyone's got any of their like favourite old games and they want to go and play them at the Stack in Seaburn, give Christine a shout and you might be able to.
I think I'll well, like I said, what I'll be doing is I'm gonna try and get Game Pass for the Xboxes. I'll have a look at our PlayStation now.
Yeah.
Just so we have like a big library of games on opening. We'll see what. Like I say, I haven't talked to Mark about it properly, so we'll have to see what has he done anything.
Yeah.
Because I said that we should get Game Pass, and if there's anything that's a big game, we'll buy it. What was I going to say? Yeah, but I think I might also have an idea that if you have any recommendations, just write them down if it's not there.
Yeah, plus there's a Facebook page as well. So
yeah, like I say, if you get enough, if we get enough recommendations for certain games or whatever, or if I think it might be a good fit, I'll have a word. But
yeah, no, that's cool.
Like I said,
it's I'm just looking at what's there as well. Like there's a good range. Like there's a pizza place and obviously Longhorns and there's a coffee shop and I don't know what Holy Duck is actually. Duck wraps and loaded fries.
So I was thinking, yeah.
Sounds.
Never tried duck.
Yeah, it's nice. Healthy Time is a healthy food establishment with a quirky Thai twist. Right?
Oh, quirky! They're quirky now.
Quirky. Okay, so that's a healthy alternative there. If you don't want a pizza or a burger. I'm hoping that this Acropolis place do the gyros. I don't know if that's how you say it. The Greeks like take a wrap, take a meat and chips wrap. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Some of the nicest food I think I've ever had. But I'm pretty sure this Acropolis one, northeast of the place. Yeah, they're all over the shop. They do like events and stuff as well. Yeah, so I think they do like travel around a bunch. They've got a website. I'm gonna have a look. Now I'm just like picking up my favourite food now because
I know.
This is what it always comes back to.
Do you think you'd be planning to go down to the Stack?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Maybe he's not that bank holiday because it'll probably be absolutely rammed. But to be fair, I think you've probably got to book a table anyway, so maybe it'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? But
I think we're taking bookings for game cabin. So
yeah, that was what I was going to ask. Like, obviously, there'll be times in the day where you'll have walk-ins, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everywhere's a little bit like that at the minute. There's loads of places are a bit like they feel like they're missing out a little bit because obviously the people are booking and they're not showing up, or like people are booking but they're only wanting to book in this like 2-hour window and then no one else wants to come in. So I think it's been a bit of a
Or just be
struggle
like,
for
I'm
places,
not
like,
in the mood for Chinese. Like, can we
Yeah.
go somewhere?
yeah,
I just think it's just frustrating because just don't do it. Like, I don't know.
yeah. Well,
Because if you're gonna book it, go. If you're gonna book it, just go.
I think this won't have any trouble because of the way like the brand of Stack is now. Like the way the other one works, it's constantly busy. I've never been in when it's been empty in the one in Newcastle.
Yeah, big screen on, everything.
Have you been to that one much? The one in Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean a couple of times, like I think twice or whatever. But I mean, it's nice. Obviously, they have like bands and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if I do wonder if our Seaburn one's going to have a couple of pubs or whatever. Is that on the website or?
They've got like the street food ones are like the bars as well, so they're obviously licensed to sell drink. But I don't know whether you have to sit. The way the one in Newcastle works is slightly different, isn't it? Like if you're eating, you can only go upstairs if you're having food, whereas the main bit downstairs is just a collection of bars.
Right.
So I really
obviously with this one being different.
Yeah, this might be like individual restaurants, and they each have like a little seating area, especially at the minute as well. I think with just the way like the having to book a table and that sort of thing is, I can't imagine them just being like once you're in, just being like, just do what you want. Like it's going to be a little bit more. I'd imagine anyway. I mean, that's just a complete guess, and as you know,
we'll have to see. I think when Markmas emailed us, he was like, "Oh, we've got like obviously at the time of that, he's like of the email, it's like we've got 35 kids," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. That's gonna be fun."
35 kids probably all wanting to play like Fortnite and just doing all the dances and stuff.
Look, we love Fortnite. Look, I don't knock them. I don't knock them for it.
That's what they like. That's what they like, isn't it?
But it's just so funny. You just like you walk and be like, "Oh, Fortnite."
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, it's all the.
I would love it. I would love it. Fall Guys is all on. That'd be mint.
Yeah, hopefully.
And
then
you got that one. And then you got that one kid who's going against the screen and he's playing something else, and you're like, "You're the real one,
yeah."
You know,
like CS:GO or something like that. Yeah, it's always the case. Just reading, the little because there's Councillor Graham Miller must have gone down to see how it was cracking on. Who is a character if no one's met Councillor Graham Miller before. He's a nice man, but just a bit of a character.
Do you know when I talk about it on stream?
No, he was a nice guy. Just like not what I expected from a councillor at all.
All right.
Just like put it down to earth.
But yeah, excited for everything to open up and everything, and but just like in the meantime, it's just boring. Just being bored.
So has that been like your lockdown sort of experience? Just a bit bored.
Well, I think no, because it's like if I had money, I would be like, hey, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But when you have no money, it's just like, can't do anything. You just in the house all day doing nothing.
In the house, I
mean, all I've been doing is on the game and also watching Star Trek because I've finally gotten the last series of the original series. And I like the original series, don't get me wrong, but I'm at that point where I'm like, I really do want to get Next Generation already. Like, I want to get onto Picard, I want to get onto like that. Because I feel like...
I was sort of mentioning it the other day, like, Star Trek's never been my thing, but I did actually... I watched all the JJ... Well, the two... He did two, didn't he, JJ Abrams? The movies.
Yeah.
They were pretty good, to be honest. I thought they were alright.
I wonder what it is. I wonder because I've never. I think if you watch them normally, I think you'd be like, that's whatever. But I think if you watched it from like the start, you're like, this is Star Trek.
I think that's the thing. I think that's why I enjoyed them because they did all right, but I think loads of people were like meh. But I think because I came into them having not really watched the original series, so I didn't.
Or the Next Gen or Voyager or Deep Space.
I came into it with a completely fresh mindset, and I was like, you know what? That was okay.
But I think the reason why, because with these new series like Discovery or Picard and stuff like that, I think it's like these writers, it seems like a lot of what I've seen from a lot of Star Trek fans is that the writers just don't seem to grasp like what Star Trek was, and that was a show about being diplomatic and trying to be peaceful as best you can and like following the Federation's order of like, like for example, like the Prime Directive is like this thing like you shouldn't affect like if we discover a planet and we find out there's life there, we can't interfere because it's like let just life take its course.
Not like playing God or whatever.
Yeah, but why you would feel like? But I feel like in Picard or the new series, it's like we found a planet, bang, 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 shoot it, and you're like,
let's blow it up.
Like, it's just like, that's why I think a lot of people are just frustrated with the new shows.
Yeah,
it's just like, it's like.
To be fair, nothing will ever rival the Star Wars fan base who've completely and utterly lost their minds because like they've made the characters a bit more diverse. Like that's all they really did. Because I keep saying this. I don't know if it's a stupid opinion or whatever, but I keep saying that I feel like you can't have a character for the sake of having a character these days. Yeah.
You can't just say, that character's going to be that like actor. Well, anyone can play the role, but he's black. Whoa! Why? Why did you cast?
Yeah.
Did you cast the token black guy? Like, no, he's always written. Anyone could play that role. That a woman could play that role.
Yeah.
No. This was clearly a agenda pushed on us. It's
it is, isn't it? Like, people always overreact when there's like some kind of more diversity brought in.
Because I feel like,
to be honest, with all of it, like I get what you're saying with regards to like, oh well, that's not like the same. It's not the same as the old ones in the way like they would go on and stuff, and I think that's part of the problem that some people have. But I also think like, especially with something like Star Wars, haven't seen them all, like you kind of just keep retelling the same story. Something has to change. Something's got to give. Like, which is why they're so bad because it's like I think they've basically told the same or a very very similar story, with the changes are on the surface. So that the surface level changes are okay. Well, there's more women in a position of power, and there's more diverse cast, which is fine. But it's the fact that they didn't use that and tell like a unique story. They took the story from the originals and the prequels and just sort of like mashed it together into this thing that they created.
Like
it's just soulless. It's just empty. There's nothing to it.
I feel like there's three people in these type of things. You've got the one side who's like, we want diversity, but we don't really care about the story. And then and then you've got the people who go, well, we want the story, but the diversity needs to go. And then you've got the people in the middle who are going,
I don't care.
I mean, the story's kind of shit, and the diversity doesn't matter. And pardon me, language there. Sorry. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's that idea of like, it's just like. It just people get like upset about the most annoying.
Like, but like to the point where they send them like the actors death threats and that, and it's like, but why?
Why?
It's a movie.
Like, don't blame her. Blame the writer.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I mean, don't send him death threats, but just be like, it's just people out there who
maybe don't have your identity so like hardly like cast in one set of movies. Maybe just like. Take a back seat, take a step back and just have a look at your life and why are you so invested in this one Star Wars film that really, in the grand scheme of the universe, doesn't particularly matter. It was awful. Don't get me wrong, I think they were terrible, to be honest.
But the thing is though, you can say this and have a good opinion about it. Like, I just don't, but like, I hate those people who bring up diversity for it, and it's like, but that's not the problem with the film. It's never been about.
That's their problem in it. I think. Like, I think that's their issue. And then, like I say, they start attacking people online, which is just crazy, really. Like when you look at what it's actually about, like it's nothing.
And they just got John Boyega just going, I don't care about these trolls. I'm just gonna like.
Fair play.
And they're how is Disney? Why is Disney supporting him? He's bullying us, and like, come on, guys.
Let's wake up for a minute.
Like, yeah.
There's a lot bigger problems going on in the world than an actor like having an opinion.
I know. I mean, actually, did you hear about like Mulan on Disney Plus?
It was supposed to be a blockbuster, right? It was supposed to come out.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out cinema.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're going, right, well, okay, here it is. It's going to be on Disney Plus instead. Oh, cool. So we'll just be in the streaming service and watch it?
Yeah. But...
Well, no. You've got to then pay an additional fee to watch that movie. And then if you lose the subscription, you can't watch Mulan. You have to pay the subscription on top of this additional fee.
So you rent it, but you also have to be a subscriber to rent it. Yeah.
So you basically get it. That fee's done. Yeah. But as soon as you lose your subscription, you can't go and watch the film. Okay. So it's like, what?
Okay.
And it's like,
great.
like, I don't want to watch a live action Mulan.
Do you know I was just about to say that's the other thing. Like, how lazy is it to just go? You remember all those films we made that you love? We're gonna make them, but we're gonna make them in live action now. We're gonna make them in real life, and it's like, but Who cares?
That wasn't the
I don't
charm.
care.
That
Like,
that wasn't the charm of those films.
I know,
I feel like
like,
the charm was the animation.
yeah, I think the other problem they're having is I think the originals had a bunch of like racist connotations in them, and instead of just being like, oh yeah, actually, you know what, we made some mistakes in the past, they're just sort of trying to like sweep it under the carpet by, oh look, there's a 2020 version with all this happening. It's like,
I mean,
all right, cool,
I mean
yeah,
that's
great.
the thing. I mean, obviously with 2020 being is that it's just so
A year from hell.
like anything like it's just so hard to get around like stepping stones. I mean, I understand like the what was the song of the North or Song of the South? Is that the one?
Oh god, yeah.
But like is it the Rush Mountain? The big.
Oh Christ.
I can't remember. It's this big like roller coaster or something like that. And they obviously wanted to change it because it was like, well, it is kind of connected to the Song of the South.
Yeah.
So it's just, I get that. Understand that because like that is a really racist cartoon, but you should should at least like for example, like I think there were ones I remember. And this was years ago. This is before 2020. It was with Tom and Jerry. They would have at the start of the episodes going, look, at the end of the day, the things that was written drew back then quite racist, but we can't get rid of it because if you got rid of that, there's just like it's just really well done, like hand drawn art.
The other thing as well, I don't particularly think that you should remove stuff like that from the history books as well, because where does that get
how will you learn to
exactly how do you ever pull that up as an example of something that is not right?
You know what's funny? When I went to Auschwitz last year, they literally have a quote where it's like, look, just we need stuff like this to remind people don't make the same mistake.
Well, of course, like you know, if you censor history like that, like you doomed to repeat yourself, aren't you? Surely, like I don't know. There is a massive argument to say, you know, some people celebrate. Like I've listened to a whole bunch of stuff this year, you know, after the whole everything after the entire sort of debate that's been kicked up. And a lot of people are saying, you know, you get white supremacists whose like favorite movies American History X because they don't understand the point of it. Like the point of American History X isn't great, there's a bunch of white supremacists. It's like this guy this is bad. Like everything that happens to him because he's a massive racist. Like and
and then he goes to prison, and he learns to then like respect.
But he realizes that his whole worldview is completely wrong, and then
at the very end, well, spoilers for American History X.
Spoilers
his
for
brother dies. His brother just gets brutally shot in the bathroom.
Yeah. To be fair,
I love it.
That's
like
spoilers for
like that was the ending we wanted.
A 22-year-old film, so spoilers I think are allowed. If you haven't seen it, very good. Edward Norton's probably, I would say, his best performance as an actor.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Very good.
Hard
to watch as well, mind. At times, like very uncomfortable. There's
because he's a full on like in the character he's playing. It's like a full on like.
No, but he does such a good job of it because you believe him. Like you look at him and you think, you know what? Yeah, definitely a racist. Like he
like
sells
and then,
it.
but then you also believe when he gets out of jail that he's like, I've made a massive mistake. And I think that's why that's why probably I'm a bit more apologetic on certain crimes because it's like at the end of the day people make awful mistakes.
Yeah,
like,
I think the other thing.
Obviously, I'm not going to be apologetic for everything, but like you know, with the context, I'll
I think as well, like this is my point though. Like that film is supposed to be a tale of like this is why it's bad, but people take it out of context and say. Like that would be their favorite movie because of the things that are in. They ignore the bits that they don't like, where you know things go bad.
But the entire thing is like as a person who has done all these awful things, goes to prison, and then he meets someone who he hates, and then he realizes, oh man, like he's just me. Yeah. We are in the same boat here. We're in prison,
of course.
Like, and then he becomes best mates with him. And there's a point where I think at the start, when he goes to prison for the first time, he sees like a Nazi gang, and he's like. Down with them, they'll protect. And then eventually he starts going.
He realizes that they won't protect him at all unless he does exactly.
And then he gets and then he gets raped in prison, doesn't he?
I think so. Like I say, it's pretty grim to watch at times. Like it's pretty difficult to watch that movie.
And then obviously and then even with the ending, I think you do think that his brother's gonna turn as well. Going, you know what? things aren't like the same, like aren't like I don't need this like ideology, and then just gets killed. It's like, oh,
but like,
man.
If you look at it, that film's massively controversial because of the things that are in it. Like, if you don't watch it properly and don't understand the point of it, like it'd be quite easy to say, why? Who's allowed this film to be made? Like, do you know what I mean? So I think there's always that, and I think like people will. There's always, unfortunately, there's always a lot of the time there's going to be people out there who look back on the older stuff that was quite clearly racist or homophobic or was in any way unacceptable by today's standards, and they'll celebrate it in some way. But I don't think that means that because of that small majority you should just wipe it off the face of the planet as if it never existed. Because, like you say, how do you ever learn from it if all the examples of when things went wrong or were done, well, not went wrong because that makes it sound like it was an accident, but when things that were unacceptable were aired on like TV or in movie theaters or whatever, like how can you just get rid of them and never have a record of it?
Like I say, it's a very like difficult conversation now because, like I say, I think with these like the same with the statute thing, it's like, yeah, these people built our country up, but on the other hand, it's like, damn, but they did some really like, but I keep saying to people, no one in this world, no matter what, all these countries in the world, we're all covered in blood. We're all dirty.
Well, this is the problem, right? And I think me and Daniel sort of touched on it a little bit. Like, there's no such thing as like good or bad, really. Like, there's no one's a quote unquote hero, especially not in the world. Like, I mean,
America's a hero. Sure.
If you watch Team America, World Police, then you know that they are the heroes and the good guys. But
quick side note, one of my favorite things was in Metal Gear Solid 5, you could like you could pick music for your helicopter to drop into, but on the PC version you can mod it so you can actually have different songs. And some people were like America, just coming in.
Nice. But I thought you were going to say like Creedence Clearwater Revival, like
I mean, that would also be good as well.
Son. That was what I was picturing, like proper Vietnam style.
But like going back to it, it's just like
everyone's grey, right? Everything's a grey area when it comes to.
But you say about Winston Churchill he is like, you can't deny. If it wasn't for him, I don't think we would be able to get through World War II.
Well, no, there's accounts that say the government that was in charge before him wanted to sue for peace. So absolutely.
But like he led us through that. But when you actually hear about his personal life, sounds like
and some of the other decisions he made, in the likes of South Africa and stuff. I think what the important.
Oh yeah, and did he like really hate? Like he really, really hate Indian people.
Yeah, the Indian famine things very tough to read as well. I think
just like I think
the problem with it is, and I sort of get what people are saying is that we're not really taught about the way in this country specifically. Not that we're the only ones, but like the way they say that the empire sort of went on and was built. It's not really like common knowledge, I would say, whereas the victories and stuff is common knowledge. I think it's more if you look at someone like Germany and the way they talk about their history, especially in schools, they're a lot more open about it.
Well, they have to though, because like I mean, our empire was really bad as well, but I think that was recent history, and I think that's why it's more like Hitler did that. Like it was bad, but at the end of the day, I think also England did that. And America did that.
Never on that level, obviously. Like that was.
Yeah, obviously, but it's still sort of similar. Just human rights completely thrown out the window.
Well, yeah. I mean, but Soviet Russia, similar atrocities.
China's doing it now.
China, I mean, at the minute they've got the rounding up Muslims and putting them in camps. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's just like,
you laugh because if you thought about it, like you would be thinking in 2020, do you think people are still being rounded up and put in camps? Well, no, absolutely not. But it's happening, and there's video evidence of it happening as well, which is just crazy.
And we're laughing, and we're complaining about like these statues. And I'm like, like in America, I get it for the Confederate like statues because those statues were just put up to be like,
some of them were,
Well,
no, some of them were literally put up during the like civil rights movement, right? Like as like a direct opposition to like black people are asking for basic human rights in society, and like these Confederate supporters were like building these statues in like 2 weeks and just holding them up in state capitals and stuff, which is just.
That's not me nose. That's not how big my nose is. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like remember that Cristiano Ronaldo one that got made? Can you remember it?
And he was just like,
I'll get it.
he's just like, yeah, that looked all right.
There.
Looks
like Niall Quinn.
or you could go on to statues. Also, that restoration of the Jesus Christ painting.
Oh, yeah.
That was
it's a picture of that one, isn't it?
I'm sorry. How does she just go and like paint this up and go, that's Jesus. That looks like Jesus. Perfect.
There it is. It was like, the Spanish guy. I'm sure like they paid him loads of money as well, you know.
Aye. But he must have been like, I'm in here.
That's when, like, you know, when someone asks you to do something, and you're like, in your head, you're like, nah, not really. But then you go, I can do that. I definitely like.
It's the other way. It's where you go, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And then you start it and you go, yeah, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm out of here.
Me. Like, literally, Jesus Christ. Like, could you imagine?
Like, I'm sorry. Like, if someone told me, can you do this restoration of this famous painting? And it was like, and if I had the skill and it was like Jesus Christ, I'd be like, how do you not draft it up? How do you not draft it up and go, no, I can't accept this?
Yeah, like, even just like photocopy it and maybe do it on a bit of paper before you just do it on the original and do this.
Like, that is not Jesus. Jesus looks totally just so wrong.
You definitely the priest.
I'm glad that we've changed subject here because that was a heavy.
It was getting deep, that wasn't it? Yeah.
I know, getting heavy.
It's been a weird year, man.
Should we look at some news things? Obviously, it's wrapping up soon. Should we look at a bit of news?
Yeah, I'm just quickly catch up with the chat as well. So Charlotte was saying she's not very keen on the live action Disney movies. Doesn't have the same impact and magic as it does with the animation versions. Yeah, I mean, even like the computer generated animations.
Well, yeah, because at the end they did like Lion King is like that is just generated. That's just full CG.
Is it? Is Lion King
live?
Right. I haven't seen it.
It has to be. Well, it is. It has to be full up. Like literally just entirely CG.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick.
Because I remember when is it Jon Favreau? Is that his name?
Yeah.
When he was directing it, he literally has this like just like screen that you can like just see in the virtual world and direct it all. Yeah. It's insane. No, like cool. At the end of the day, you can't deny that is cool.
Yeah, that is all the technology that they use. Like, it's really good. Like all the stuff they did. That studio that did it for Marvel, the de-aging ones as well.
They had. I think they also. Do you know Corridor Digital? Have you ever heard of
them? Rings a bell.
No, well, I showed Daniel. So I think I showed you some of it where they do CGI people react and stuntmen react and stuff like that.
Right.
And they got, on 2 videos, they got one of the people, like I think something Starlight or whatever, for the special effects company, and they break down how they did the scenes and stuff like that for like the entire for the final fight in Infinity War.
Yeah, really cool.
Endgame, sorry, not Infinity War.
It was Endgame. It was one with the portals. I remember you did show us.
Like they just go like, this is how much it did. Yeah. Like this is how long it took and everything. It's like it's insane.
It's crazy, really, really good and interesting industry. To be fair, like visual effects, really good. So Amelia, I was just saying we're all equal in my eyes. I don't like what's going on. It affects our mental health. Seen this happen before. Yeah, I mean it does sort of go in cycles, but I think at the minute tensions are very high. I think
just a quick note going back though. I don't know, maybe I'm super pessimistic about the entire subject, but I genuinely feel like we'll never get to a point of like true. Like I think it's been pessimistic, but like it's so difficult because you'll always have one person or 2 people or a group of people who go, I don't agree with that, and it's so hard.
Well, I think the thing that that people are on about at the minute, like that it's the system. Like the actual system of like government and institutions and I think that's possible. I don't think it'll ever be 100% like equal and fair, especially not based on like the society we live in. Sort of your worth is dictated a lot of the time by how much money you've got. And I don't even mean that in terms of like, I mean on like a completely rich poor level, because I think most people can get by, and the people who don't are seen as like freeloaders,
Yeah.
And it all it is like the people who have the most money get the best chances, because
Mhm.
yeah, everyone's born equal to a certain extent, as in, you shouldn't be discriminated against. Say, you wouldn't be told no to getting into like a school based on the
Mhm.
color of your skin, for example. But if you've got 20 billion quid, like, you're more likely to get access to the better education. So they do have a massive
Mhm.
head start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are born into families who've been rich for like 5 generations. And they're going to be rich for another 5 generations. Like, the way
I,
our system works is there's a lot of people have a massive head start.
if I was honestly though, if I had a kid and I was in a rich family, I would be like, no, you're doing work.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't care how rich I am. You're doing work.
Well, you need to learn the value of stuff, right? Otherwise, you're just going to grow up to be like Donald Trump.
I didn't even tell them like, look, I know we like, let's say for example, oh, we have $1 billion. You're going to like work in a Asda or something. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. I
But
think it just like I say, you end up like Trump, where you've got this like entitled mentality where the world owes you something.
He had a small loan of $1 million. So.
Had a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another topic for another day, possibly. Possibly implicated in the Epstein thing as well. I keep waiting.
Oh,
I keep waiting to see.
That's even heavier.
Yeah, aye, definitely.
I was actually watching some clips of Tim Dillon on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And just talking about like
Tim Dillon's a funny guy, man. I watched him.
I think they were talking about like the Eon Q or whatever, and he was going
QAnon,
like, "Oh, QAnon or whatever." He's saying that the conspiracy theories, like Donald Trump's actually in a shadow war against like a paedophile ring. And he was saying like, why wouldn't he say that though? Like if he said that would be the best thing for his ego.
Well, that's what he said. He said there's no way he's doing all this without telling you about it, because he can't shut the F up.
Like, I'm sorry, but like
it's true.
the way that Trump is, if he was taking on a paedophile ring, he would tell people. He'd be like, guys, I'm doing good. Like countries in disarray, but I'm taking on this paedophile. Of course, he would tell.
Yeah, but like, we always come back to Alex Jones when we talk about conspiracy theories. But like, there's a guy who he says he doesn't believe it, but he preaches them like it's sort of quote unquote gospel, if you know what I mean. Like he'll talk about them, and he'll have all these. The thing with him is he has all the facts. He has like a list of things that he'll just riff off like constantly. So then it gets a bit of credibility, because he's been saying it for this long, and then like something will happen. Like, you remember NASA came out and said like, oh, okay, well, we've got this video. No, it was the Air Force. It was the US Air Force came out and said we've got this footage of this UFO because we don't.
Oh, and then no one cared.
The Tic Tac, and like no one was even bothered, because like the whole world was on fire. Like
UFOs though, like this. When I identify, I'm like, I don't care.
100,000 people are dead from this disease.
I bet.
But look, there's a spaceship.
Imagine those aliens in those ships are like, they'll be looking at us and say, we don't care.
I'm not bothered.
Okay, cool, yeah, great.
Like, I'm too busy on Twitter. I'm having an argument with someone on Twitter about why Trump's not a paedophile. Yeah, okay, great.
Well,
there's Daniel. Daniel's name.
I was going to say, do you want to be like lighten up the mood a bit?
Yeah. Well, if I lighten up the mood a little bit, I watched. You mentioned Tim Dillon. Bill Burr has a special on Netflix from a couple of years ago. I watched that last night. Very funny.
All right.
Very, very funny. It's really good. Tim Dillon's got a podcast as well, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
Which is
I'll also have to watch like Tom Segura's like last special, because I watched his Ball Hard one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's good. I love the part where he's like, have you ever met someone who's just so boring, and you're just like, and he's explaining that. Oh, actually, do I have to? He's in this bit. He's just going about how he's going in the bank, and someone's like, "You going in there?" Yeah. And he's like, "The bank? Is it still a bank?" Yeah, it still is. He's like, "Okay," and he's trying to get in the bank, and he's just so bored. But there's another on his podcast recently, and even on the uncensored like thing, he was talking about this. There's this guy. He bought some bikes, or he got some bikes for him, Christine, I think the family as well. And I think one of them broke. And the guy he's been trying to get in contact with is just the worst person. He's just so bad at his job.
Yeah.
It's like, literally, say this, right? Let's say that he brought the bike on Monday. And he's like, right. And the guy goes, I'll be there on Sunday. I'll be there Sunday. I'll fix it. I'll be there Sunday. 2 weeks go by. It's Saturday. Are you coming in? No, yeah, literally, he keeps making excuses.
Yeah.
And Tom's like, I want to kill this guy. I don't want to see him at all. And he keeps going on. He goes, but you know what? I want to keep seeing how far he can like take up the excuses. So on the live show on Friday, he's like, should I text him right now? And he goes to text him. And then he replies near the end. He goes, I'll get them out of here. I'll get them out of here. And it's like literally like, I would say 3 weeks of this bit of him trying to get in contact with the bike guy to get him down to his house, and you kind of get him there. He just keeps.
The thing with like stuff like that is we all know someone like that as well. Like you've messaged someone to like fix something, or they've said they'll sort it, and then like you even don't put that pressure on. Like you might not ask them. They might miss the day they were supposed to drop it off or whatever. And then you're like, an extra day, and then another day, and then you'd be like, you test me like, have you forgot about that? Like, you're all right in that, and then they'll not reply for ages. Then they'll reply, oh, I'll sort it next week, mate.
But I love how obviously he just keeps like it casual just to see how far he can like take this. Like how
it'd be like
but
3
like any other
years.
person would be like, where's my bikes? Yeah. Where are they?
Where are my bikes? Probably sold them for like drugs or something. I don't know.
Well, no, he came. He actually eventually came, and Tom was like, "Oh my god, he came!
My bikes.
He finally came!" It's just like, why?
Yeah, crazy man. Right, so just to quickly catch up, so Amelia was saying everywhere she's gone past week, people have had attitude, and they're the professionals. Just on about when we were saying the people who think the world sort of like owe them something. I think, to be fair, at the minute tensions are high. I'm trying to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I think everyone's a bit on edge.
I do want to quickly discuss that, like the Fortnite thing though. Quickly.
Okay, go for it, man.
So basically, there's been a recent story where Fortnite has been took off the Apple Store and also Google Store. This is more of a gaming story, but we'll end up with a gaming story. And basically, they've implemented this new system where you can get V-Bucks by it's like a discount price.
Yeah.
But what you do is on the mobile version, because it was also on console, but it doesn't really matter for console.
Yeah.
But on
just to explain that, just in this article here as well, it's Apple and Google when you put an app on their app store, any in-app purchases, they charge a flat 30%, like regardless of how much it costs.
Mm-hmm. Now Epic has done this thing to circumvent that 30% cut.
Yeah.
So Apple was like, well, they broke our guidelines, and so was Google. Yeah. But Epic apparently, it seemed like Epic knew this was going to happen. They made a short, which was parodying the 1984. Is that Apple advert?
Yeah, it was the Apple advert, wasn't it? Where it was originally Steve Jobs.
Because it was about IBM being like quite like monopolized. Yeah. So Epic's like, well, look, they're in a monopoly now. Well, and obviously like
they're did you see they're taking them to court? They've filed a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's on Twitter. You can go on Twitter and you can read the entire lawsuit. And I'm like, right, cool. But the thing I realised is after a while you just go, but why should we care? I was like, why should, like, especially Fortnite's community, because it's mostly younger audience.
Yeah.
Are they going to read an entire affidavit about, like...
It is interesting, though. It's kind of interesting. To be fair, Fortnite's majority stakeholder is a Chinese tech company as well. So I don't know whether I think they must have a pretty solid case that it's like stifling their competition, and it's stopping them from it's creating like a monopoly on mobile apps.
The thing is though, it's funny because 30% like on a smaller bit company that is big, I guess.
Yeah. Well, basically they're annoyed basically because obviously they're making like millions and billions, and then Apple and Google are rinsing them for not really doing anything. Like they're not actually providing a real service. It's just literally market presence, which is a little bit annoying.
But I just think it's funny because they make all this noise for the audience, and it's like, but do I care for three giant like $1 billion companies going again? It's like, why? Like the fact is like they ran that on for 16 hours on a live stream. They just kept replaying that short, and you would think 2020 can't get any weirder. I eventually see a Fortnite character recreate an advert from the 90s.
The 90s, I think it was early 80s.
and that is one of the most famous adverts ever.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's I mean, it's that long ago. I think if you mentioned IBM, you'd be like, who? Like, because IBM were like the
honestly,
majority stakeholder in like a bunch of they bought a bunch of stuff, I think, and they were like they had the monopoly on like computing, any kind of computing device.
Yeah, I mean the help
machine.
NASA and everything. Was it? But was it like was it their monopoly? Like, because we don't find this like project interesting, but it's like, but this project could be amazing.
Yeah.
But it's like, is it? I think it's funny. Like, honestly, I remember when IBM used to do advert. Like, they probably do. Anytime IBM have an advert on TV, I'm just like, what do you do?
Who are you? What do you do? Yeah. Systems,
because they don't say, here's our product, or it's like, why are you advertising to people on TV when there's like to the general masses, where it's like what you sell is like high-end business compute, like full on, like just tech in general.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be buying like a supercomputer designed to keep traffic in order. Like, no, that's what IBM entire business is.
Well, yeah, it is. It's all like systems, like integrated banking and stuff like that, and payment and all that kind of stuff. It's good. Like, it's really good technology. It's a lot of the apps that we use every day are built on like IBM systems, but at the same time, I don't really care. It's like,
but yeah,
I'm not going to buy them. So,
like I said, this entire like 30% cut, it's just a weird thing to bring up to the customers.
Do you not think with all these tech companies, like, they've just got so much money that they'll always just get into these stupid fights and arguments with other tech companies to see if they can get some more money? Like, it's all.
I mean, that came recently though,
crazy.
Because recently Apple did this thing where I think Microsoft wanted to do xCloud on the Apple storefront,
right?
But Apple was like, no, like we don't like this.
Yeah.
So Microsoft's like, well, you can't get xCloud, unfortunately, Apple people.
Yeah.
Because their market's so like just run, and it's just like, because obviously they've got Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
Their own small streaming gaming service.
It's terrible.
So it's kind of,
it's not good.
It's just like, it's just.
It's
I don't know.
only as well. It's a really weird system.
The reason I bring this up is because I thought it was a fascinating like story, a fascinating like article. Just like, it's so weird. It's just so weird. But like at the end of the day, like, I understand where Epic's coming from, but they did break the rules. They just go, well, yeah.
But they did it they did it on purpose to incite this lawsuit. So like,
well, yeah, they knew what they were doing. They were like, they planted the trap going, come on, Apple and Google, come on.
Well, they did that so that they would ban them from the App Store and the Play Store,
and then go, look,
so that they can then sue them for something. So they've done that on purpose, and I'm interested. I think they must have a pretty good case, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
But I'm not reading that entire.
Oh no, definitely not. I'll wait until the Ars Technica article comes out and tells me all the things I need to know.
I just love how it's like, here's the lawsuit, and you're like, only literally lawyers will read this, or people who are like
1,000-page long.
Just like, gee. Like, is it like, does the judge have to read that as well? Because
probably. I think so.
I just like, I throw it out the window.
Yeah. Like, what? If I were a judge, you'd be like, what the hell's a fortnight? Like, who?
3 books.
Skins.
And then all the other people who were like, well, they just stole our dances. This is our chance. Let's get in. Yeah. And you're like,
pile on.
Oh, it's just, it's a
good story, man. And like I say, really, really good to talk to you. So once again, massive congratulations on the new job.
Thank you very much.
I will probably be by at some point, maybe if we can get in. That's the thing.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so if you guys are in the stack in Seaburn, drop by.
One more thing before we go. There's a short thing.
Go on, then.
I saw your photos on what's his name? It's Amy's boyfriend.
Oh, Pete.
I saw your photos.
Yeah, I was there. So pdelitefitness.co.uk. If you go on their Facebook page,
he just plugged it. He was like, "There's the plug."
If you're looking for any personal training solutions, Pete will sort you out. And if you go on the Facebook, there's a picture of a couple of pictures from one of the sessions that I did, which was absolutely awful, by the way. But good for you. But just at the time, it was just like dying. You can tell. You can tell by my face that I'm not like posing as a model. I'm in pain. Like.
Well, I might as well plug the game cabin. Like I say, 28th of August, the stack opens up.
Yeah.
And obviously our store opens up the game cabin. So if you want to come in, have a bit of a play on the Xboxes, PCs, virtual reality, food, stuff like that. So yeah, coming on down.
Champion, great stuff. So yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll check back in with you at some point to see how you're getting on.
I know. Well, I'll speak to you later.
Yeah.
Right. See you.
See you, man.